11-year-old Evan loves stories, and there's nothing more her mom treasures than sharing this time together. But they share so much more, an unimaginable story.
This was totally out of left field. It wasn't anything that I could ever prepare for.
Tamara was 20 weeks pregnant with Evan when she got a call that would forever change their lives.
I kind of knew something was up. I got a pit instantly.
The ultrasound results were in. Baby Evan had a malformed heart.
I was broken. I was so broken.
Evan's heart went from malformed to having more than 10 defects, 3 of which were extremely rare.
We had top geneticists saying just terminate it. We had cardiologists saying, you know, you just need a heart.
Tamara had decisions to make.
It's nothing I'd ever heard of, a heart transplant. That's on medical shows, or that's something that you read about in science books. It's not anything that happens to newborn babies.
As a single mother, all alone, she didn't know who to turn to until her grandmother mentioned the David Foster Foundation.
So I knew the name, I didn't know the cause. And when I went to with my grandma, I said, this is what's happening. She just said, well, you call the David Foster Foundation and they'll take care of you.
And that they did. The 27-year-old foundation went to work.
They put us up in an apartment in downtown Toronto, about a few blocks away from the hospital for sick children.
They covered traveling expenses, groceries, clothing, and even paid her bills.
Medical aside, I don't believe Evan would be here if it wasn't for the David Foster Foundation.
When Tamara and Evan were listed for a heart, doctors warned Evan had very little time to wait for a transplant. In fact, doctors told her the chances of receiving a heart in time were 0.
I was scared. I was petrified. This is the moment that they told me that once labor happens and my baby comes, the hard work that I'd done for 40 weeks it's not up to me anymore.
Evan entered the world with a non-functioning heart.
There was never no medication pumping through her. She was medically induced coma. She was breaking down basically right before us. So
doctors performed surgery to help stabilize baby Evan, but feared she would not be healthy enough to receive a transplant.
As a mom, seeing your baby like that is a lot. So I just had a little pep talk with her, and like 24 hours later, total turnaround.
Call it a miracle. Evan's health turned around, and 8 days later, a heart was available.
Every ounce of sick kid went out of my mind, and it was just this beautiful baby girl.
And for the next 7 years, life was good until another life and death situation.
Evan was our, poster child for our 25th anniversary in Victoria. But what happened was we didn't know that Evan was actually dying during that time. And right after our event, Evan was rushed in critical care by medevac to Vancouver Children's Hospital to wait for her second heart.
Once again, the foundation jumped in to help.
Always be grateful, I'll always be indebted, and I will always give back to the foundation in whatever way I can, because they had a huge part in both Evan's transplants to ensure that she's here.
Today, Evan is well into her next chapter, hoping to share her story.
They'll know the foundation can help them. There's people that have gone through it. There's people that are going through it. And there are success stories.
A testimony about a mother who would not give up and a daughter with a fighting spirit.
It's a hard word.
In Victoria, I'm Lisa Pysmenny for ShawTV.